Hi everyone, welcome to Fleet Equipment from the Floor, ACT Expo 2023. I'm Jason Morgan, Content Director for Fleet Equipment, and wow, do we have a show for you. So we are in the thick of it here. We're going to be camped out in the Cummins booth as our home base, but we're going to have booth visits at Daimler Truck North America, International Truck Peterbilt. We're going to walk over and get a deep dive into Accelera by Cummins. But first, I want to welcome Srikanth Padmanabhan, President of Cummins Engine Business. Srikanth, thanks for taking the time. Welcome to the show.
No, thank you. Thank you for inviting me to talk with you. I'm just super excited.
Oh my gosh, and the booth is packed. It looks great.
Yeah, it is.
So look, battery electric, it's a big topic, has been a big topic here at ACT Expo for the past couple of years, but we have a lot of decarbonization options here surrounding us. What do you think is going to get a spotlight in terms of those decarbonization options and narratives?
Well, there are going to be three, I think. One is the battery electric and fuel cell electric, which is going to be zero emissions products where it actually makes sense. You should go for it. But in between, I think there are going to be couple of interesting things that are going to happen. The first thing is low carbon fuels, if you will, which is related to natural gas, or for that matter, it is zero carbon fuels like hydrogen. But then in diesel, we will also have biodiesel, as well as e-diesel kind of concepts that will come into it, which means you're starting to lower the carbon footprint today, as opposed to waiting for this perfect solution that you would have, whether it is battery electric or fuel cell electric. Yeah.
Destination Zero, you have something called Destination Zero. What is that? Can you take me through it?
So the way I would say it is, first is that climate change is the existential crisis of our times. To address this, we need to decarbonize. Decarbonizing can happen in multiple ways, and our view is Destination Zero is our strategy to make this happen. And we also think that Destination Zero is actually a growth opportunity for us. The way we do is, we said publicly that by 2050 we'll be net zero on carbon. But at the same time, we've also said that by 2030, we have to reduce it by about 25% or so.
Right.
To do this, we have three phases that we would say. The first phase, a lot of people will keep trying stuff, which is what the early adopter phase would be. Then there is going to be a phase where it's going to be messy middle, which means the right technology will win in this Destination Zero stuff.
Right.
And then the third one would be where infrastructure is there, where grids are going to be there, where technology is reliable and useful, which is when it is going to get to this Destination Zero, which might be in some countries will be different. It won't be 2050, in some parts of the world it'll be 60, 70, but we have started. It's not a light switch event, which means that it'll take some time for which all these three phases need to play.
Right. Well, not a light switch event, and also something you have to start today. You can't wait for this technology will be available then. No, it starts today. So in that vein too, as we're going through the shows, we're talking to a lot of folks here. There's a lot of decarbonization efforts here. What should fleets look for? I mean, what questions should they be asking? How can they partner with their suppliers to bring these technologies to the market and make them work for them?
I'd say three things. First is, does the technology work? Because it's different than passenger cars, right? You could drive your car, and if it doesn't work today, you could take your spouse's car, or you could go take the public transportation system. For most of these people, this is their living that they have, which means the technology needs to work and it needs to be reliable. They need to try a few things out. The second thing I would say is that, is the total cost of ownership going to work out for me in the industry that I'm in so that I can actually make money?
Right.
And the last thing that they need to ask is, just like I have in today's infrastructure world where I can fill my diesel tanks, can I actually charge these things? Will there be enough chargers? Wherever I go, will I be able to take care of this? So if you take care of these three things, which is, does the technology work? Does the total cost of ownership work? And does the infrastructure work? When those three things come together, I think suppliers and customers will be able to start taking this to the next step, I would say.
For sure, and looking forward to talking more about those as we go through the show. Srikanth, thanks so much for taking the time. This is wonderful. All right, well, one of the big questions is, what is Accelera by Cummins? They made this announcement here a couple months ago. We are going to go find out. We're going to walk over to the Accelera by Cummins section. We're going to take a look at how they're bringing those products together under a product portfolio and brand. So let's head over. All right, so we are here with Brian Wilson, General Manager of Electrified Components, Accelera by Cummins. Brian, thanks for taking the time.
My pleasure, happy to be here.
So what is Accelera?
It's a super exciting time for Cummins to launch a new brand, Accelera by Cummins, that's really focused on accelerating the shift to zero emissions across the hard to abate industries, whether that's production of energy all the way through commercial vehicles. And so it's really a rallying cry for the folks within Cummins that are really focused on zero emissions to be able to bring that technology to the market in a quality, reliable way and help our customers shift to zero emissions.
Okay, very cool. So Accelera by Cummins, walk me through what the product lineup is.
Sure. Yeah, I think first we'll start with the production of green hydrogen. And so this is something a little unique for Cummins. And we have an electrolyzer business that is focused on generating clean hydrogen for use both in industrial and in the commercial vehicle market.
Okay.
And so that's a kind of a really exciting new segment for Cummins overall, and of course Accelera by Cummins. So that's really the first market. The second market would be the fuel cell market, which is focused on mostly mobility markets. So you could think trucks and buses and trains. And of course, those fuel cells can use the hydrogen generated from the electrolyzer business to help do work and move those vehicles wherever they need to go. Right. So that's the fuel cell business. And that overlaps really well with the electrified powertrain because a fuel cell actually needs an electrified powertrain to do its work. And so what we've done with the acquisition of Meritor and Siemens Commercial Vehicle, and then with all the other acquisitions, we now have all of the key components from an electrified powertrain. So we have central drive traction motor and inverters, we have integrated e-axles and power electronics and motors. We have batteries, and then we also have control accessory systems, what we call PCAS internally, but it's essentially all of the other bits that you need to electrify your vehicle. Yeah. We actually provide that in a kit to help make it easier and faster and cheaper for OEMs to start electrifying their equipment.
Okay, so just a few things going on
just
here,
a few
right?
Things, yeah.
A few things. Well, and so that's a lot of product, a lot of new innovation coming to the market, and one of the other things we talk about when we talk about fleets adopting these is support after that, not just being the supplier, but supporting that after the sale, supporting the transition. What are you doing in that world?
Yeah, I mean, this is really one of the big strengths about working with a company like Accelera by Cummins, is we have that history of 100 years of being in the market, and we have a distribution network built up, already out there serving and in doing support on these types of equipment in vehicles. And we do it now for diesel, we do it for natural gas, we'll do it for hydrogen internal combustion engine, we'll do it for gasoline. Those same folks that are working with the fleets and helping to keep that equipment up and running, they're also going to be working on all of these technologies that are behind you. And so we have the capacity, we're building our capability, and that really is one of the key differentiators for Accelera by Cummins, is the Cummins sales and service network that's standing behind us to help ensure that the end users have a good experience with the technology.
Right, very cool. Brian, thanks for taking the time.
Yeah,
I appreciate it.
Good to meet you.
We're going to head over to the Daimler Truck's North America booth where editor David Sickles is going to take us through the Freightliner eM2 and all the electrification initiatives that DTNA is doing over there. David, take it away.
Hey, thanks a lot, Jason. I'm so excited. I am here at the Daimler Truck North America booth at ACT Expo with Samantha Parlier. She is the Director of Brand Marketing for Daimler Truck North America. Samantha, thank you for being here with us today. Can you show us around your booth?
Yeah, I would love to. So starting out here in the corner of our booth, behind me what you see is what I call our umbrella message for everything we do to drive sustainability at Daimler Trucks North America. And it's moving at the speed of right. The right timing, the right options, the right products. It's very complicated to transform an industry, and Daimler's leading the way there. One of the ways we're leading, if I get you to kind of follow me this way, is we just announced last week a joint venture with Greenlane, and that is to bring charging stations like you see depicted here to the country. Absolutely. It's one of the biggest challenges that we face in the electrification of the industry, and Daimler's putting their money where their mouth is by investing in this great technology.
It's hugely necessary. We're always hearing from fleets that infrastructure is a difficulty, so this kind of thing is going to be huge.
Yeah, it's incredibly exciting. But follow me this way, we're going to head over, so I'll show you a couple more areas.
Okay, sure. I see the e-Cascadia here.
Yes, absolutely. So right behind me is the e-Cascadia that we launched last year, and the exciting part of this truck is actually in customer hands, delivering freight across the country as we speak. Sustainability at work.
Wow, that's amazing. That's amazing.
Now let's head over and check out the real star of the show today,
for sure,
the eM2.
For sure.
I'm going to turn you over to our product expert, Katie Rabideau. She's going to give you a walk around of both of the two vehicles we have have. We've got a pickup and delivery version and a vocational version.
So cool.
Hey, thanks for being here.
Thank you so much. Katie, okay, this is really exciting. We've got the eM2 behind us. Tell us a little bit about this vehicle. Tell us the specs. What do you have going on here?
Yeah, fantastic. The Gen 2 eM2 that we're launching here at ACT Expo 2023 has some visual differences from our Gen 1 innovation truck that you see immediately with the stylish grille and hood. But there's some fundamental new specs that I'm thrilled to share with you.
Okay.
The eM2 is available in both Class 6 and Class 7 applications. Our proprietary battery side protection protects our high voltage batteries, which are available in for Class 6 with 294 kilowatt hours and a typical range of 180 miles.
Oh wow, okay.
And for Class 7 applications has 291 kilowatt hours and a typical range of 250 miles.
Got it. And what are some of the expected applications for a vehicle like this?
This application is available for 26-foot body, flatbed, stick body, dry box, as you see here, and we're excited to announce it's also available for refrigerated applications.
Okay.
With an ePTO that seamlessly integrates with reefer, electric reefer suppliers. Yep.
Okay, Katie, so I wanted to talk about the e-axle here because it looks like we're dealing with just your typical axle, so tell me everything about this.
That's right. So some solutions that you see in the industry include a central motor with a traditional driveline. We have located the motor in the e-axle's e-carrier. That saves precious space where the batteries are located, optimizing wheelbase, and also avoids inefficiencies by removing the driveline. So we've got it in the center of the axle housing, which allows for you to spec traditional wheels and tires on the wheel end.
Oh wow, perfect. So when you're talking about, you have the M2 and then you have the eM2, what are some of the major differences that you had to think about when electrifying a vehicle like that?
You know, there is a driver training element to operating an electric vehicle, but let me tell you, this truck is fun to drive for a driver.
Yeah.
We have a 2-screen LCD display that really puts the information on the e-powertrain at the driver's fingertips.
Absolutely. And then last year, you had announced the eCascadia. Walk us through kind of the journey from announcing that Class 8 vehicle to a vehicle like this.
We've been able to incorporate the learnings from both that innovation program as well as the eCascadias that we have in customers' hands getting real-world miles. One example is a fourth heater that we added to this truck after getting some experience with the eCascadia. We've definitely streamlined the production process so that we can seamlessly get these trucks out of the plant, and we've had some software topics that we've worked through so that this truck is ready to go out of the factory.
Fantastic. So walk us through infrastructure a little bit. Obviously these fleets, they're not just buying the electric truck, they're also buying chargers. So can you speak to that at all?
Yeah, let's head over this way to our e-services area. We know that it's not just the truck, it's the entire ecosystem. And we've gone beyond our traditional role as a truck OEM to prepare our customers for electrification. We have Detroit Connect e-services, including our Detroit Charge Management System, designed to seamlessly integrate with our e-vehicles as well as our Detroit e-fill chargers. We have an expert team with Detroit e-Consulting to support that journey and advise on the right solutions for an individual fleet's application.
Excellent. Katie, thank you so much. I really appreciate your time here. Jason, back to you.
David, great info from the Freightliner team over there at the Daimler Truck North America booth. Thanks for bringing us that. I'm here with John Bennett, General Manager, e-powertrain Accelera by Cummins. John, thanks for taking the time. Great to talk with you.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right, so big first question here, right? We're a little over the year mark since Cummins announced the acquisition of Meritor.
Right.
We got some white axles here, which is interesting. Where is Meritor fitting into this product lineup right now?
So when Cummins acquired Meritor, the conventional side of the Meritor business, conventional axles, brakes, drivelines, stayed with the components business of Cummins and are on display over on the Cummins side of the booth here today.
Yep.
The electrification part of Cummins, of Meritor, went into the Accelera business within Cummins. And I am now leading the former Meritor electrification business, which is called e-powertrain.
Okay, so just so I have it clear too, traditional axle powertrain, that's still Meritor, and you'll still talk Meritor over here?
Cummins Meritor, that's right.
When you come over here, we're Accelera.
That's right.
Electrification.
What you see here are Accelera zero emission technology products on display.
Very cool. Walk me through the axles.
Okay.
What do we got here?
Yeah, so what we have here is our flagship medium and heavy duty electric powertrain. It's called the 14XE.
Okay.
It's in production today. It's been in production for over a year.
Okay.
We've got 1,000 of these built and on the road, accumulating miles.
Okay.
Let me talk to you a little bit about it.
Yeah, take it through.
What you see here on the end, something that we're unveiling here at the show, is a new twin countershaft 3-speed transmission.
Okay.
Something 3-speed transmission.
Okay,
so it's a new feature
Yep.
of this e-powertrain platform. What you have here is a fully integrated electric motor, and both of these are then integrated into what looks like, and it is really, a conventional axle housing. We also have some different features at the wheel end. So what you see here is a 2-speed planetary.
Okay.
On the other end is a conventional single or no reduction wheel end. And then we have a hydraulic brake with integrated parking and a conventional air brake. So it really shows a lot of the modularity. And that's important because we can cover a wide range of applications by mixing and matching many of these features. So 6-7 medium duty, and as a tandem up to 80,000 pounds in Class 8.
Yeah, and as more of these products roll out, I think we are starting to seeing the specking decision value you still make. I think, and I'm guilty of it too, of broad brushing a lot of the e-powertrain and how different are they, but there's still plenty of specking decisions to be made on the electric.
Yeah, no question, and as you know, the commercial vehicle industry is just incredibly diverse. So you need the ability to change parts and pieces around. You can change the motor power around. We could configure this transmission as a 2-speed or a 3-speed, wheel end reduction or no wheel end reduction, because there are just so many applications. A school bus is configured differently than a long-haul truck, than a refuse truck, you name it. And we've got the ability to kind of mix and match to suit the specific use case that we're targeting.
Real quick, what's the need for the 3-speed? I hear a lot of 2-speed. What's the 3-speed bring?
The 3-speed brings performance.
Okay.
So there are fleets and OEMs out there that really want to separate themselves with better acceleration, better gradability, better startability, and in some cases even better efficiency. So that's what the 3-speed gives you. And if you're more cost sensitive, we can configure a different transmission. As a 2-speed, may meet all of the performance that you're targeting, but if you want to step up,
I see.
We'll put a 3-speed on.
I see. Very cool. You have another axle over
yes,
here
we
as
do.
well.
We'll take you over here. So what we have on display here is our 12XE. The 12XE is a smaller variant of the 14XE, and it's really targeting the lighter medium duty space, Class 5 and Class 6. It utilizes the same motor as we have over on the 14XE, but now what we have here is a 2-speed planetary transmission. A little bit smaller transmission, and you'll notice it's a much smaller gear set. And where this really plays is in the lighter medium duty segment with smaller wheels, and you need better ground clearance. The smaller bowl gives that to you. We can still configure the wheel ends and the brakes differently as we do with the 14XE, but this is really targeted with the smaller gearing and the smaller bowl towards that Class 5 market.
Yeah, very cool. Got some more new equipment over here?
Let's keep on going.
So what are we looking at here?
And then finally, what we have here is a product that came with our most recent acquisition of the Siemens commercial vehicle business. So this is a traction motor that's used in the bus segment today for a direct drive application. With the acquisition of Siemens, what we have now is motor technology, inverter technology, software and controls technology. So we really control all elements of the value chain for an e-powertrain, and we can still offer standalone motors and inverters for OEMs who just want to buy components. So it's been a great addition to our product line. So both enabling technology on the e-powertrain side, but also being able to offer standalone components because some OEMs, they want to just buy parts and pieces.
Right. Well, and actually seeing it, it really brings that Accelera by Cummins strategy into view and in the focus, right? Where you're bringing in all these components you've been collecting through acquisitions.
That's right.
And now kind of a cohesive product line is very cool. There's also a lot of options here, and I think as the electrified world grows, how should customers work with you to get options into OEMs and bring choice to that segment?
So I mentioned we're in production already with the 14XE, and we've had 1,000 vehicles on the road. So you'll find them in PACCAR vehicles today, Peterbilt, Kenworth, the 579, the 520, the T680, in production today. Volta in Europe is going into production as we speak with our 14XE as well. So if you're interested, you can buy a Volta vehicle, and it will have our 14XE. And then later this year, Autocar and Hyliion, and next year, Thomas Built Bus will also be using this axle in production. So you have a lot of options out there in order to get our products, and we're talking to many other OEMs as well.
John, thanks for taking the time.
Thank
really
you very much
appreciate
for coming by.
We're going to go over to David Sickles. He's at the International Trucks booth. He's going to walk through their electric product and ecosystem and how they're supporting these products as they bring them over to the market.
Thanks a lot, Jason. I am here with Michael Grahe. He is the Executive Vice President of Operations here at International. Michael, tell us a little bit about your ecosystem surrounding the EV experience. How are you making it easier for fleets to electrify?
So moving to battery electric vehicles is not just changing the powertrain, it's a whole different thing. And this is why we are doing a three-step approach with consulting, charging, and deployment. And let me explain a little bit about this. Consulting means we are working with our customers coming from their transport needs to see what fits best for them. What do they actually need? In a school bus setting, for example, we are saying what's the average routes you are taking. In a truck setting, what goods are you transporting? Are they heavy? Are they cubed out? Do you need the space to come to the right solution? Because our customers are very knowledgeable about specifying a diesel truck, but we have to help on defining the electric truck.
Sure.
Now there's much more to that, because you don't just need the truck. You need a charging infrastructure, you need different serviceability, so this is something which we are helping. And with this we are coming to the charging part. So you have the product, but you have to charge it, to run it. So what do you need? How do you work with a utility? How do you work with a charging provider? What can we do for you to set this up? And the last one then is the deployment. So it's all is defined, you know what you want to do, but you still have to do it. And also, electric trucks need service. How do I do the service? What do I have to do in my workshop? How do I have to prepare? How do I have to train my people? So we are doing all this together with our customers, that for them it's a seamless transition to a sustainable future.
Interesting. And what are you finding to be one of the biggest barriers to entry for these fleets as far as this whole thing is concerned? Is it the charging? Is it working with the utilities? Is it the training to be able to work on these vehicles?
The first hurdle is actually another one where I would say a lot of customers start this journey in saying, this is what I do today with my diesel truck. Now I want to do the exactly same thing with a BEV truck. And that's difficult. And you don't get the full potential. So the customers have to rethink, do they have a different approach to this? How can they change their business, their logistic chain, for example, to better suit to a BEV truck? And let me give you one example what is very unique for a BEV truck. Price of electricity during the day or night is different. So if you're charging at noontime when everybody's cooking and the air conditionings are running, electricity prices are high. So suddenly charging is expensive. If you charge at 2 o'clock in the morning, it's cheap. So to do this. So that's one part. But the biggest obstacle at the moment is really the charging, because also this just takes time. If you know how you want to charge, till you set this up, if you have the permitting, everything, we are saying 12 to 18 months, which you need. So it's not just, hey, let's buy a truck, let's go to the charging station. No, if you want to set this up, you really have to think ahead.
Wow, okay, excellent. So I saw a couple of chassis over there.
Yeah, let's go over there and explain a little bit what we are doing.
Excellent. So how important is modularity when it comes to the fleets that you're working with, the chassis that you're providing?
Yeah, so obviously we have to now transition our complete product portfolio to battery electric vehicles, because our customers, they have their needs, they have the different applications, and we want to cover all of them.
Yeah.
So what you see here is it's kind of our first generation of the electric versions. This is what we are having for the school buses and the medium-duty trucks, our chassis. And what I'm already saying, so for two products, we are basically using the same chassis. We are using for school buses and medium duty the same one. So we have the modularity. Of course, there are minor things which are different, but basically it's the same. And then whatever we have learned here, we can carry over to our new product, which will come out soon, a regional haul tractor, where we're then saying, how can we use components, systems, approaches which we had over here, also for our next generation products. And this is not just within Navistar. As we are part of the Traton Group, we are doing this on a global scale, working together to see how we can use certain approaches, how we can use certain systems jointly around the globe.
Interesting.
Not that we want to introduce anyway a European truck or so. That doesn't make sense because the North American market is different. But what subsystem, what components can we use? Because now, last point there is, a lot of these components for electric trucks are still very expensive. Everybody talks about the battery, but when we're talking about electric steering pumps, EPTOs or so, as this scale is still rather small, the prices are very high. And as we want to be cost competitive for our customers, we are using this on a global scale.
Got it, got it. And when we're talking about modularity here, are we mostly talking about how many battery packs they want to install, or does it go beyond that?
It's going beyond that. So we are really looking at standardized interfaces of all our vehicles around the globe, how we can use this. And then we have one principle which we apply, which sounds very simple, which is same need, identical solution. And it's very important, same need and identical solution, not similar solution, identical solution. So you have to make the trade-off where you're saying, hey, the need is basically the same. We want to use exactly the same solution technically for that component, for that system in the group.
That makes sense. Well, hey, thank you so much. I really appreciate your time here today.
Perfect.
Jason, back to you.
Okay, so we are here in the Peterbilt booth, and I have Patrick Wallace, Marketing Manager, Peterbilt. Patrick, thanks for taking the time. Big announcement here, commercialization of hydrogen. Yeah. Partnership with Toyota. We got the fuel cell here, looks great. Can you tell me about what your plans are?
Yeah, we're really excited to announce our partnership with Toyota. We have a really broad product portfolio with zero-emission trucks for lots of different applications. Where electric vehicles fit is short to maybe mid-range applications, and where we see hydrogen fuel cells fitting is long-range applications. So those customers doing long haul, we want to have a zero-emission solution for them. And so this is a Toyota hydrogen fuel cell. Our sister division has been partnering with Toyota for several years now with Project Ocean. And so we're going to leverage that, and we're excited to announce a 579 hydrogen model that's going to come out in 2025.
Oh, wow. Okay, that's soon.
Yeah,
that is soon. That's early, right? Well, very cool. Excited to learn more about here, but there's a lot of other things to check out here in the booth. You got a battery electric refuse, right? Let's walk on over. What is it? Yeah, the door. That's it. Yeah. All right. So you've had this truck as a part of your lineup here from launch of your EV lineup. What's new with the vehicle and how's it rolling out?
Yeah, so what we wanted to show here and display is that we have a fully integrated electric body. So Heil came out with a fully electric body. Okay. Traditionally, right-hand side loader bodies are hydraulic. This one's all electric, and that's just really good from an efficiency perspective. It also has single point charging. And so the takeaway here is that this is all integrated. This was designed, to be an all-electric solution, and for customers that want, no hydraulic leaks in their neighborhoods or things like that, this is a great solution. It's also very energy efficient.
Right. Well, and I know, on vocational side, I know refuse can be its own animal there too in that market segment, but how deeply you have to work now with upfitters and bodybuilders and solutions providers to make sure that they have the frame rail space they need, the other things they need. probably the energy to power the body as well, and just working more closely with them to bring that to market.
Yeah, that's absolutely right, Jason. We work closely with Heil on this body to make sure it's optimized to work with our EV powertrain.
You have something really cool right behind you that we got to go talk about, the autonomous truck. Let's check it out. All right, so this is self-driving, right? Autonomous, moving toward level 4. Where are we at on the roadmap? What can you share?
Well, so we're doing trials right now. We're carefully doing trials. Right now we're running a route, or Aurora's running a route between Houston and Dallas and back. And it's going from a terminal to a terminal. And there is a driver in the truck that's supervising while this happens. But for the most part, it's really fully autonomous. And so what we're doing right now is we're taking a very cautious approach. We're taking a very careful approach. We're going to release this truck when it's ready, when the technology's ready, when we've been fully validated. So there's no definitive timeline yet. It's just when we're ready, when it's safe, because we want our customers to have the safest possible solution, and it's going to be very efficient.
Right. Well, on that idea of safety being paramount, it's almost the evolution of a lot of the ADAS level 2 systems that are on the market that you are offering as well on the Model 579. Yeah, and just making sure you can bring that to market. I know there's a lot of interest. Fleets we talk to have a lot of interest in it as well. So really cool to see it here at the show, and cool for bringing it. Yeah. Patrick, thanks for taking the time. Wonderful.
Yeah, thanks, Jason.
Wow, what a day. And that was just the first day, right? Tomorrow we're back with Volvo, Kenworth, Chevron, Mack. We're going to be back here at the Cummins booth. We're going to walk through hydrogen ICE. We're going to be talking with Amy Davis over at the Accelera by Cummins. So, see you tomorrow.